I want you to change your world and grow your own food. Are you ready to get growing? Woohoo! Yay! And I have a favorite cabbage. Did you hear me? Did anyone hear me on the radio this morning? Some of you actually phoned me and came down because they heard about this on the radio this morning. This is a cabbage I've grown for a couple of years, and it's called Tierra cabbage. And that is the actual name of the cabbage. You actually order it from the catalog. It's called Tierra. So today we're going to look at a growing change. This is my book, No Guff Vegetable Gardening. We can't cover the whole book today, but I've got 3 points that I want to talk about. I want to talk about schedule, I want to talk about shelter, and I want to talk about soil, because soil gets you better food overall. You okay with that? But as I mentioned, most vegetables are annuals. You put them in the ground, you water them, you take care of them, and they're done. And certain crops are extremely early, and other crops are a little bit later. So some of them you will start early indoors, like kale you could start about mid-April. Most of your cabbages you could start about mid-April. So we have a table of frost hardy, semi-frost hardy, and frost tender. So if you're looking for things that you can put in the ground the earliest, those are the things that are going to be in the frost hardy category. So things like arugula, things like kale, things like parsley, and things like lettuce. It's not just shelter from snow and frost because, hey, we're frost tolerant here in Calgary. We know about stuff like that. It's things like wind. When the wind is blowing, it can batter those new plants. Or when the sun is beating down too hard, or when the plants get droughty. These are all things that cause stress in plants. But I also really like to protect young plants from wind, and I got this really great product called GrowNet. That's the GrowNet here. Well, when it gets down to -8 degrees, actually you need a heater in your greenhouse. So you can have a greenhouse, but it won't solve all your problems. And so my miniature watermelons weighed 3.129 kilograms. I thought that was a little large for a miniature watermelon, but they were getting that water every day. So IRT mulch, I liked that a lot for heating up the soil. So you have to worry about your schedule, starting things early. You have to worry about your shelter, providing heat for your roots, providing shelter from the wind, maybe planting up against a south wall, and providing a raised bed. But the number one thing you have to worry about is soil. And the number one thing in soil are the minerals in the soil. So I used to say, just use 20-20-20 and you'll be fine. And that's an equally balanced fertilizer. But now I realize plants don't use food that way. Plants take out what they want to take out and they take out what they need. So when I met Barry Furneaux, I said, how are you so successful? This is Barry's broccoli. Have you ever had a king head on your broccoli? Have you ever had 2 king heads on your broccoli? I was like, this is ridiculous. What is your secret? His secret was Steve Solomon's book, The Intelligent Gardener. He put it in our salads, the canola oil, but what is left over is called seed meal, and sometimes it's 45% protein, which makes it a very nitrogen-rich source of food. So we will be using seed meals as well. Soil, you have well-mineralized soil that has nice soil biology. If you can do that, you are way ahead of everyone else. So worms are a really good source of soil biology. Ask not what your world can grow for you. Ask what you can grow for your world, your community, and your friends. This is my mom's hand. When she was 90, she was still helping me in the garden. And I think it's never too early to start children. I've got kids age 2, grandkids age 2 that have been gardening. And I say, are you ready? Are you ready for gardening? Change your world today. Thank you very much. So we still have a couple minutes, so come out and talk to me. Because I know what you're thinking. You're thinking gardening is like a game, and it's a tricky game, and it's a game with a lot of rules. And it's a game I'll never figure out, so I'm just not even going to start. Gardening is a game, but it's a fun game, right? Snakes and ladders, you win some, you lose some. Some years everything gets frozen, other years it's just perfect. Life is uncertain. We don't know what's going to happen this day, let alone this week or month or year, but we know that if we plant a garden, we have some hope for growing some good quality food. You can use the no guff turpless approach, which is all about schedule, shelter, and better soil. And you can learn more. You can go to the library and take out books. Hey, you can buy my book. Let me help you. I even have my phone number on my webpage. Because as Cohen said, people have to grow their own food, Mom.